We should fight, we should fight.
Them, okay?
Bring Gragas the caps and we win. Bring Gragas.
How low them, okay?
Probably not.
I'm coming.
Maybe I can flash.
Oh, nice.
I'm coming.
Looking to
We can fight this, maybe.
though.
I can flash. Can you see smoke?
Nice, looks good. We have ult. Oh, nice dodge.
Go.
I can hold.
Go.
Nice. All in. Nice.
I tank.
Take.
Nisqy has the exhaust. Mikyx going in underneath the tower. Already one gone. They catch out Carzzy. Nisqy's going to join the party here, though. Hansama dashing through. Hylissang falls with a double, and G2 just be forced away. Nisqy still stands forward. Good petrol engage, but the cleanse from Hansama. Perfectly timed from him, and they baited out smart and mad. Nisqy thought he could find something, but G2 slammed the door in their face and go one win away from their 10th title in Europe.
I'm kidding, I'm not gonna do it. G2 is on match point and they could be taking home the trophy today. We have our beautiful Winter Split trophy right here. By the way, there's a different themed one for the winter, the spring, and the summer split. And then of course there's our traditional lovely big LEC trophy for the seasonal champion as well. And how cool would it be if someone got them all? Probably not so much if we want to keep it competitive. And unfortunately for the Mad Lions, it hasn't been that competitive yet.
No, it's been really, really tough for them. And I just think, like, the breakout for me was watching that Hansama Samira come through the Jarvan as well for Mikyx down the bot side. Absolutely ran away with that last game. And for two players that had really disappointing, I think, 2022s, they joined this G2 roster with a lot of expectations, try and step up after that year after Hans' exile back in NA, returning over to the team, Mikyx joining the team he won an MSI with, and now they are on match point to winning their first split.
And we heard it in the pregame as well. Hansama mentioned that he felt like it was so nice now finally being able to play really aggressive as he's always wanted. So that surely showed a lot of aggression. I also want to point out, I think it's pretty funny, Caps played Kled mid, because I remember back in 2017, he was playing Kled mid in our scrims.
Really?
Dylan, his current coach, didn't allow him to play it on stage. And now, all those years later, it has finally appeared right here.
That's an amazing story. That's so lovely. And I think it goes to show how comfortable they are all feeling on stage right now. And let's talk about Yike a little bit as well and the parallels with his enemy jungler, who was rookie of the split in his first season.
I mean, this has just been an unreal month for Yike. It's been 37 days since he first stepped onto the LEC stage, and now he needs one win to become a champion. That is absolutely absurd. And the way G2 of a team have rallied behind him throughout all of it. They let him play the unique picks that are his style. All the lanes work to assist him in the jungle. It goes both ways there. It has been a completely brand new roster switch up from him stepping into Jankos' shoes.
I think it's so impressive as well that he can play this way already right now, because normally players need like a split or two to ramp up to deal with the pressure and stress, but this guy from the very first game has just been dominating whoever's on the other side of the rift.
And Broxa, we talked so much about the fact that G2 has the ability to be flexible and that Caps will go on something like a Sejuani, but they want to enable Yike to be that carry jungler that he can be. But that also brings a lot of stress with it, of course, because that means all of a sudden he is the guy that has to perform on this roster as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like, as I mentioned, he's new. He's dealing with so much stress, pressure, different factors, and also having to deal with having a massive champion pool. Now playing Gragas, playing Belva, playing Lilia. All these champions that a lot of other junglers haven't been able to, make work. He just plays amazing right from the get-go.
It's also like such a demanding team, I think, to join in terms of G2 and how they play the game, because they're always looking for an edge. They're always looking for a fight, trying to take it. So you have to be absolutely on your money, or you're going to get left in the dust to the tempo that G2 play at. But he has been at the front through and through since day one. One of the best rookies we've ever seen join the LEC.
Demanding team to play for, but they will repay you in kind and in gold and in kills if you show up for them. And I think Caps has been having a phenomenal series overall. The Kled was mentioned, the Cassiopeia earlier as well. I think the whole team is firing on all cylinders, and that's leaving Mad in the dust for now. I want to say, luckily, we have a couple of members on that team like Elyoya and Carzzy who have been down in a final 2-0 before. They turned it around, Broxa. What do they have to do to make that miracle happen today?
I think sometimes it can actually be, I mean, it's going to sound weird, but it can be useful being in the position Mad is in right now, because now they have the backs against the wall. There shouldn't be any pressure anymore. They're expected to lose, and this is where they can really shine. take some risks, try something different, because at this point you have no other choice. And if it fails, it is what it is.
Carzzy and Elyoya will remember that 2021 spring finals. They have to be able to tap into that. One of the biggest things we saw with Mad Lions is how together they play. It's all about the environment for them. So even backs against the wall, they have to stay positive heading into this final match, and they have to beat G2 in the early game. It is all out for G2 early on, and Mad Lions have to step up in those first 15 minutes, or it's going to be lights out here.
Have to stop that G2 battering ram for Mad Lions if they want to have a chance in this series and to take the trophy home today. Or will it be G2 with their 10th? Over to Vedius, Dagda, and Medic for Game 3.
Thank you very much, Shox, as we get ready for what could be the final game of the LEC Winter Split. 37 days ago we started this, and we're already here ready to crown a champion. It feels very quick. And we do obviously still have spring and summer left to go, but the winner today locks their spot at MSI, the first team to do it. They would be the second seed, or unless obviously they win spring, then they'd still be the first seed.
I mean, what I will say is that the thing that excites me the most is that the fact that we have a team at G2's level already makes me even more excited for spring to see how much the rest of Europe can level up to match the current titans that are G2.
So into the draft we go. I think I saw Mad Lions have elected to be blue side again. Blue side has a huge win rate at the moment, 11 wins, 4 losses. Obviously Mad inflicted a couple of those, as have G2 so far through the course of playoffs. There's the Draven ban, Maokai removed by G2. Now Mad decided to ban Ashe on blue side, and they will get rid of the Kled.
So they basically said, G2, you've played Kled top, you've played Kled mid, you're blind Kled. For some reason, you've decided the Kled is OP, and we've decided we don't want to deal with it anymore, so we're going to ban it. No more Olaf ban. Kled will be, wouldn't it be really funny if G2 now, like, we're locking in Olaf, they just flex it.
Look, I think the big thing is I want to see them go away from this Pharah first pick. Pharah has not been it at all in playoffs, and I think going towards something like the Sejuani in last game, or even picking up something that's a little bit stronger for yourself there, could have been the better option, although they did end up getting the Sejuani in the end. But now Ashe is going to be banned away instead by G2, and it is the Varus ban for Mad Lions, so more than likely see the Sejuani immediately locked in here for Elyoya.
That likely means that the Gragas response will come out from G2. We know that the Gragas can be flexed, assuming that this is, of course, locked in for Mad. We saw them hover the Sejuani last game, and they may very well pivot.
They pivoted to the Varus last time, and it's banned out this time.
So we'll have to wait and see. But there's the pivot. They've decided on the Gragas. See, that's why you want to be careful about the hovers, lads. It's true. But Gragas is a champion that has proven to be very valuable throughout playoffs, largely due to the introduction of Mad, prioritizing it a lot and flexing it between Elyoya and Nisqy. I expect this to be mid. I expect them to give something like the Vi over to Mad, and that's why I think this hover from G2 Esports and a lock-in could be very good to deny that away from Elyoya.
Especially if you want to still go for the Sejuani here for Elyoya, I think that's still pretty nice, where as Vi goes in, you get to ult the backline and prevent that follow-up, plus you've also got the Barrow to prevent a lot of that as well, so I think you've already got a nice setup there for Mad Lions with those first few picks, and then I imagine they just go towards an AD carry on that third rotation as well, unless they just want to secure entirely their top side of the map, which we did see them actually do yesterday as well, so it may just be a case of, hey, triple melee top, let's try and make things happen.
They just blinded Heimerdinger.
Yeah, because Ashe is banned, and Ashe is obviously one of the counters to the Heimer. How else do you get on top of this?
Is it my fault for being suspicious that this might not be support?
You think it's Heimer mid?
Yeah, you said it yesterday.
I don't know, man.
It's possible. It's possible. We'll see.
You expect it to be in that support position, but as you rightly said, we'll have to wait and see. Now, we are seeing Mad default to comfort. This Gragas Jayce duo is something we've seen pretty consistently, especially from them yesterday in their series versus Koi, and it's something that they're falling back on. And they're now challenging G2 with the, listen, you don't have Kled anymore, surely you don't have any other picks that can go into Jayce. But knowing BrokenBlade, knowing Caps, they'll find a way to make Mad's life rather difficult.
I think the hard part here is, okay, jungler locked in, they're actually going to go for the Wukong. The biggest problem now is that there aren't a lot of AD carries that can safely farm against something like a Heimerdinger, right? We saw Carzzy default back towards things like the Aphelios yesterday, but I don't want to play Aphelios into something like a Heimer because he's going to just outrange me, poke me down, make my life a never-living hell. So I think the big question now is, if these bans are going to start moving down towards the bottom lane here for G2, what do they actually bring out for cards in that bot lane? Because I'd ban an Ezreal, I'd ban things that can have that range or that at least escape option for Carzzy.
That's fine, I agree. I think that Ezreal Karma is your instinct, right? Like, you look at that bot side of the map and you're thinking something very safe, something that can try to avoid dives and can basically just scale up later on to the game, as Mad Lions is very likely going to be focused more on the top side of the map. I was thinking to myself maybe a Sivir, and then G2 decided to lock that one instantly, so they're going to have an incredible amount of push towards the bot side of the map. My only other question is, what about a Caitlyn? We haven't been seeing Caitlyn a lot so far in playoffs. Does offer you a lot of range. The Rel ban going to come out from G2. They've been seeing it from Hylissang recently, and this is, of course, a very powerful engaged champion that synergizes well with the engage of the Wukong.
Because that's your option if you're playing into a Heimerdinger Sivir lane. You can go in, you can look to try and fight them and take them out in a pure straight-up battle, or you can try and play range. The Karma, as you say, a possibility. Ezreal as well, alongside that for Mad Lions. Cassio banned by Mad. They don't want that playing into the Gragas in the mid lane, and G2 might look to remove the Karma from the pool here, or take away the Ezreal from Carzzy.
I wonder if we see something like the misfortune that we got from Hansama actually go towards Carzzy. At least then you can try and outrange a lot of this pressure on the bottom side. Quite like a lot of opportunities to set up with the Wukong, with the Gragas as well. I think that's probably going to be your best bet here. Lucian now taken off the board. Ezreal, though, still up and available, which I did think we banned away. So it may just be an Ezreal angle for Carzzy.
Yeah, Mad Lions really... I'm trying to work out where they would go in terms of support here. You can just go for the pushing lane, but do you really want Hylissang on something like Karma when you are playing for your lives in this final? Alistar also a possibility into the Sivir, but into the Heimerdinger it really struggles in the early game. You just get constantly harassed. We'll see where Mad Lions decide to go. They get rid of Cassio and Akali, trying to cause Caps to play something different once again. But Caps is very willing to do that, it seems, across the course of this winter split. G2 now likely looking towards the top side of the map. Give Caps counter finally, or maybe give support counter. They can't play it, or they can play it, it's just old Aurelion Soul, guys. It's old Aurelion Soul if it's locked, but there's the Olaf.
He's shaking his head, but I guess that was for the Aurelion Soul.
It's locked.
So we will be seeing the Olaf has been banned in games 1 and 2, but we're expecting that to go into the top lane as an answer to the Jayce.
The interesting thing, though, is they still left open where the Heimerdinger is going, so maybe you do get your mid-Heimer, but Zeri Lulu going to be the answer here for Mad Lions, and we'll finally get to figure out exactly what G2 want to do. I'm not the biggest fan of, if it is going to be a Lulu, I think you just get shoved in so incredibly well. The Lulu won't really have too much of effect as it comes to trying to shove that wave back. And
from Hilly's face, I think it might be a Lulu, guys. Yeah. Didn't look too enthralled by that one. Could even be the Yuumi on 13.1B. And she was nerfed a little bit on this patch, if I recall correctly. Obviously, heavily nerfed on 13.1, 13.3, but that's not the patch we are playing on. And now G2 looking for either their mid lane or their support. I'm gonna give, it could, oh, it's, no way is it Taliyah. Oh, it's Heimer mid, Betty. It's Taliyah support. It's Taliyah support. He did this before. Remember, it went really badly for Mikyx.
I do remember.
It could just be Taliyah mid.
It could just be Taliyah mid.
Could just be Taliyah.
I mean, probably Taliyah mid.
It's probably Taliyah mid, but I was excited there for a second.
I know, that's why I wanted to bring you back down.
Thank you.
I just enjoy ruining your day. Yeah.
So, let's start off by talking about Yuumi. She was pretty heavily nerfed on 13.1p. All of her base stats got reduced. They did make a small change to how her passive works. They also kind of affected her heal, and then they basically changed a bunch of stuff.
Oh, was this the really big hit?
Yes, this is the big
so this is the one that took it to 41%.
Yeah. This was the massive patch change. And that's mainly why she fell out of pro play, right? Yep. It's a large part of why teams moved away from her, but Mad is saying that they still believe in the scaling element that Yuumi can provide. The 2v2 is rough. They're going to get pushed in, they're going to struggle, and they're going to fall behind. And it's something that Mad are going to have to find a way to mitigate, because they're going to be focusing more towards the top side of the map. Carzzy and Hylissang will be left on an island, and G2 is definitely going to look to capitalize on that.
I think it's going to be a case of, can you get this Yuumi to interact with Elyoya and Nisqy in the early stages? You know, belly slam into the ultimate from the Yuumi could end up setting up some great engages, but it is going to be very, very tough with how much pressure this bot lane is going to be under.
trying to win in the early game versus G2 is a struggle to say the least. Both these two games, they have kept Mad Lions on a rope, and Mad Lions have struggled to find anything. Can Mad Lions bite back in game 3, or will G2 be crowned champions? It's lights out, and away we go onto Summoner's Rift for what could be the final time of the day. Yuumi locked in for Hylissang, gutted on this patch, as we noted in the draft. We'll see what that cat can do.
And as a reminder, if G2 win this game, they will lock a spot in the season finals. That happens after Summer Split. They will also lock a spot at MSI.
Yep.
Because now, there's an article that talks all about the changes to international events, where basically Europe will be sending 2 seeds, and this will guarantee you at least 2nd seed. If they win spring, then obviously they can move to 1st seed, but that's still a ways away. So important stakes for the winner, on top obviously any winter, right? Shocker. But yeah, there's a lot on the line here for both these teams, and the last time Hans Sama found himself in this position in a final, he did get reverse sweeped. It was, in fact, by the Mad Lions, and it was, in fact, by Carzzy. The roster was somewhat different back then, but Elyoya and Carzzy, 2 names that Hans Sama is very familiar with. And I wouldn't be surprised if he came into this game telling his team, hey guys, we need to focus, and we need to make sure that we don't give Mad Lions any room to breathe as we move here into game 3.
It doesn't feel like you're going to get much move on this, or breathing room on this bot side from Mad. Already you've got the turret set up by Mikyx, going to get that push in. Yike going up towards his top side, so going to take his Krugs, red, and then move back down to the bottom end of the map, which I think should be fine. It's more of a case of if Elyoya wants to try and go for something sneaky, where he tries to go for an early gank on bot side, but realistically, as Wukong, you need level 3 to go for it, so it'll be a 3-camp start, potentially then into a bot lane play.
And we'll see how well Chasy is able to pilot this Jayce. And against the Olaf, it's been banned out the first 2 games. BrokenBlade gets his hands on it once again, was one of the reasons that they managed to take down Koi last Monday. And obviously Mad trying to respect it, but in the end you can only ban so many champs, and Kled rose up that priority list as the series has gone on.
I see a bit of vision invested from G2 into the top side of Mad's jungle. Trying to get a bit of information as to what Elyoya is up to. He will be pathing, well, doing a full clear rather, full clear from bot side up towards top. We talked about how Mad is very much expected to play to the top side of the map. Oh, can we see G2's vision? They will spot him out. All right. So thank you very much, observers. Quick reflexes there. But now they have information. BrokenBlade can respond. Elyoya sees the reaction, and therefore he knows that he has been spotted on some wards. This now gives Yike information, and he could be looking to set up a play on the bot side of the map.
The thing is, even if he doesn't manage to make a play on the bot side, Carzzy already taken a bit of damage. You're still getting the push down in this bottom lane. Caps is going to be able to roam. And I think that's been the big standout thing for me for G2 is how good Caps has been at roaming. And it looks like a dive on bot as Elyoya goes top.
BrokenBlade pops the ghost early on here. Knockback flashes forward. Chasy flashes away from the axe. The undertow was used. BrokenBlade trying to get his way out of this one, but the red buff slow should be enough. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Hylissang getting dived. Carzzy trying to get the kill onto Mikyx. Carzzy surviving! Hans Sama flashes forward. Nisqy gets 1. It's 2 kills across the map for Mad Lions in answer for 1. Hylissang, I think, can't jump back on. Now can. Back onto Nisqy. And in the end, a 2-for-1 trade in favor of the Mad Lions. Hans Sama trying to survive this one. Nisqy actually might have enough mana to go back in. Didn't know where Mikyx was, and that turret down means they'll back away. The pause comes out. We got to have 1. It's the LEC, guys.
You'll take that as Mad Lions, though. You get the kill onto top side with a good flash away from Chasy, and you get the trade back on the bot side. It was unfortunate Carzzy couldn't quite get the kill on towards onto Caps on the way out as well, but still happy as you go.
Yeah.
That was one of the best things that you could do as Mad, especially when you come into a game 3 when you're down 2 games. We talked about how they needed to control G2 in the early game to some degree, and the play was, I would say, predictable is like not a nice word, but it was very clear what G2 was going to do, right? They did a full clear from top side into bot. Obviously, we had full insight into that, but Nisqy also pushed in through mid. Sorry, not Nisqy. Caps pushed in through mid and then made an immediately roam down towards the bot lane. And so they wanted to try and shut down Carzzy and Hylissang right from the get-go. And this is something that G2 often relied on during the regular season to take advantage of. So the fact that Nisqy was able to respond with the teleport, able to mitigate a lot of what they could and end up trading 1-for-1, I would argue one of the best case scenarios.
And it's really cool to see that step up from Caps and how well he has been at controlling that space in the mid lane and always trying to lean to cover potential plays, also lean to set up potential plays. Because remember back at MSI 2021, this was one of the big talking points around people like FLICKR and Xiaohu and how they transitioned into this more facilitator, supportive style as they went on in their years and became one of the best mid laners or the best mid laner of their respective regions. And this is where we're starting to see Caps kind of fall into that style as well now, where he's not only playing mechanically fantastically as we saw in game 1 on the Cassiopeia, but now also being more of an omnipresence on the map as well, helping to secure his team and leading from the forefront when it comes to these early games.
Yeah, I will say, although Pedro is unwell at home, I think we have the start the game button here on the studio, so I'm going to press that one now and we go back in to the game. There was a visual bug reported by Mad Lions. It was confirmed by the referees, and we're going to play on through it. So you can see what is the end state of that sequence of events? Well, Mad Lions got 2 kills. One went to Elyoya, one went to Nisqy. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we did see this dive happening. We'll watch it again on the replay here.
So the big thing is the level advantage the G2 bot lane have. The immediate teleport comes through, the ignite drops onto Carzzy to mitigate whatever healing that he has. They're able to sidestep and dodge that initial play set up by Yike. You can see Carzzy doing his best to get that kill onto Mikyx, but Yike, thanks to the ignite that comes down and the tower shots that he's tanking, ends up taking a lot of damage. Hansama with the ghost tries to chip away at Hilly's health as much as he can, but able to jump on top of Nisqy to keep stay alive.
Yeah, a bit of credit to Yike there. Flashing with the Q, actually knocked up Hylissang before he could get back onto Carzzy, which meant that Hylissang couldn't remount for the entirety of the play. You can see Hansama trying to trade, thinking, can Hylissang remount, can Hylissang remount, and just did it right at the last moment to jump onto Nisqy. So Yike there was able to isolate the captain. As much as the fans hate him, it seems like the players seem to hate that Yuumi as well.
You can see, even though after that play, and Carzzy was the one that died, still has a small gold lead, at the very least going even after Hansama picks up this wave. Mad, they're looking for another play top.
BrokenBlade has no summoners here, nowhere for him to go, and Chasy should be able to secure this one. Runs away, Elyoya takes it instead. With Yike in the area, Chasy didn't want to give anything up, and just backs away from the play.
Finally, we're getting to see Mad Lions come alive in the early stages. That's another kill now for Chasy, and it's feeling quite reminiscent of yesterday with, okay, Carzzy, Hilly getting help from Nisqy, but Elyoya helping to facilitate Chasy on this Jayce in the top side. Yesterday, he set the record for the most damage of any player this split on Jayce in Game 2 against Koi. We'll have to see if he can do it again now coming into this.
And when Mad Lions were successful, it was playing through Chasy. Look at the jump in jungle proximity from regular season and groups into playoffs. It's almost 8%. That is a huge amount of time that Elyoya spent around Chasy trying to get this Jayce ahead, and it worked so well for them across the course of this weekend.
Give the man resources and he will use them effectively. It's a great start for the Mad Lions. A 1k gold lead is definitely where you want to be. G2 though, you can't afford to underestimate them at any point in the game. Nisqy did look for a roam, will be spotted up by some vision. Yike, thank you observers for highlighting the vision. Mad will not see Yike as he makes his way into the jungle. No pings have come down, and he's making. You can see
did they just see him?
They should have spotted that.
Maybe just saw the edge of him. Carzzy has no way to dodge away. Hylissang needs to jump back on, but he can't get there in time. Yike takes the kill. Carzzy caught out a little bit in that bottom lane.
And just a nice job there. Now, Elyoya going to move in to try and free up this minion wave, but again, falling further and further behind Carzzy is on this CS numbers. Really nice job from G2 to sneak Yike in and get that kill.
Just a very straightforward gank. Yike comes in, leverages the fog of war, and without hesitation, able to pick up Carzzy, who has no summoners. So really good play from G2. And again, this is what I'm talking about. You can't afford to underestimate this team. The second that you have a gold lead over G2, they find these creative plays, and they're immediately back on the board. So Carzzy at a small deficit for now. The biggest hit to his experience bar. Very close to level 5, but Mad Lions definitely in a better position compared to what we've seen from them so far this series.
I think it's going to become more and more difficult for Mad to keep control over this bot side. Obviously, Hansama and Mikyx are doing a good job of keeping the push in and keeping that CS number high, but Cap's having control now as well.
Fancy feet there from Nisqy, using the phase rush to make sure that Caps couldn't land the seismic shove. BrokenBlade was waiting. Nisqy just chipping away at Caps' health bar, reminding him that this Gragas can put down quite a lot of damage in the right circumstances. Pushes out the wave as well. Caps with low mana really can't trade too much more.
The obnoxious thing about a Gragas is not only is the durability that he gets from his W, but they're just the consistent wave clear that he has, relatively low cooldowns, and every time you try to trade into him, he just has so much damage and chip damage that Cap's struggling a little bit in terms of the isolated 1v1 for now. Obviously, he doesn't find himself at a massive deficit, only behind largely because of that kill that Nisqy was able to pick up. But yeah, will be forced back to base, has the TP up any second now, so he can just return to the mid lane and catch that wave.
Mad doing a nice job of starting up the Rift Herald before Yike hits level 6. Should hit it off the camp that he's on at the moment, but you've already got people in position here from Mad to try and burst this one down. Still level 5, big advantage for Mad here.
But Nisqy has no mana and no ultimate as well. If G2 wanted to fight it, Caps could step forward, as obviously just teleport back into the lane, but as you say, 4-member strong Mad Lions will be able to take the Rift Herald. Plates going down to Hansama, down towards the bottom lane. Mad Lions secure the Herald. And you can see G2 trying to answer on the other side of the map. Can Carzzy survive a dive? Well, he doesn't think he can, so he just backs all the way away.
Yike hit level 6 on the transition down, so definitely needed to be wary of that one. Dragon should be taken here in answer, though, for G2, and could potentially see an immediate play on the top side here from Matt.
Exactly. They're aware that the Dragon is going down. Caps is going to try and respond. He makes a roam of his own. Nisqy going back to base, so he's unlikely able to match.
So Caps is waiting for Elyoya to show, because then he can go in and use that Weaver's Wall to trap them. However, Carzzy step forward once again down towards this bottom lane. Hylissang still only level 4, doesn't have that ultimate. Lightning Crash coming out, the TP being used as well. Like, Yike locks them up underneath the tower. Carzzy surviving for so long, but Hylissang just can't get the damage down. Yike now on the wrong side of the map. Flashes away from the explosive cast, looking for the Q as well. Can he get over the wall? He can't get close enough. Meanwhile, in the top lane, BrokenBlade trying to survive the dive. He takes a 1-for-1 in the top. Chasy on the board, 1-0-2 now. Caps on his way up the Weaver's Wall, a possibility. Chasy does still have the flash and will back away. There's the Weaver's Wall. Chasy looking for the knockback. What can you do here, Chasy? Dives in, seismic shove just wide. Chasy can turn this one. Caps has to ghost. Caps clapped in the top lane, and Chasy has arrived in the LEC finals.
Chasy does what he needs to and finds the outplay onto Caps. It was an awkward situation for Mad, losing a member down in the bot lane. Only going 1-for-1 in the top lane dive. Securing that kill now gives them a much-needed advantage. Extending that gold lead ever so slightly and relieving some of the pressure that is constantly being thrown down onto Carzzy's head.
Lovely, lovely stuff from Chasy. Now with the Eclipse complete as well, should be able to get a little bit more pressure up towards his top side. And I think a bit of a mistake from Caps, which we'll get to in just a second, but Elyoya goes underneath the tower. Great job here from BrokenBlade to actually manage to turn one of these back around. Having that Ragnarok means he doesn't get locked up while Elyoya gets the flash for just enough to finish off the Wukong as they go through. And then we get this dive onto the bottom side as well, which Carzzy, again, feeling the brunt of that one.
Very little he can do. Good ultimate from Yike. The chain CC is strong. And the timing from Nisqy's TP, right place, right time. Able to at least trade, as we see now, an engage from Carzzy.
Onto Hansama. Carzzy looking for the damage here. Does have the lightning crash as well, but can't quite put it down. The grenade's going to connect, though! And Hylissang unable to do anything about it. Carzzy falls for the 4th time this game.
Mikyx with a beautiful stun onto Carzzy. Doesn't flash out of the way, which means that he loses his life. And this bot side is growing ever greater in favor of Hansama once more.
Keep your eyes on top, though. Elyoya here with the Rift Herald in tow. They want to try and trade 2 towers for the bot lane turret at the moment. But only BrokenBlade here. Caps trying to help out.
It's a tale of 2 carries right now in this game. Chasy knocked back with a seismic shove. They're going to try and turn onto him, and he's taken out, shut down. Over to BrokenBlade. Chasy just a little bit too far forward there. And G2 were able to pounce. Nisqy looking for something. No Ragnarok available for the Olaf, but Caps on his way once again. No seismic shove. So no Weaver's Wall for him right now. The Antidote connects onto Nisqy. Cease and desist being used as well. There's the shove back into the unraveled earth. Nisqy trying to survive. Elyoya turning it back around with the Cyclone. One knock-up. They try and take out BrokenBlade. They'll find him. Caps has splash. Yike goes in. Nisqy low. Elyoya too. Caps has the stopwatch. And Mikyx comes in to secure the kill.
Mikyx continues to have impact on the map with his Heimerdinger. He lands the grenade in bot lane. He makes the roam up to top, and Mad are quickly losing control. They had such a good early game lead, but now they're getting overconfident. They're going for plays that they don't have the right to make, and G2 is quick to punish.
Mikyx still on the way down here, trying to see if he can get onto Carzzy. Hansama does have the ultimate if he wants to follow. Mikyx, can he get the stun?
Has the flash, doesn't have the upgraded grenade right now. 2 seconds on that ultimate. Carzzy will just tank a little bit of damage, and Mikyx currently sitting 3-0-2. Sork Boots already complete on his way towards a Rylai's. G2 should be able to secure this tower. Mikyx going behind them. Elyoya's on the way, though. Final chapter being hit. Carzzy low, lightning crash, not enough. Hylissang now needs to survive. The tower's still standing, though, and Elyoya is here to counteract this dive. Summer spell shields. Mikyx tanks a shot. The grenade again from Mikyx. This man just refuses to lose as Mikyx lands grenade after grenade and keeps Mad Lions at bay.
Mikyx showing that he is the carry in the bot lane now. 3-0-3. He's incredibly strong and showcases the difference between him and the Yuumi in the bot lane. He has the most damage dealt this game. An incredible performance in Game 3 for Mikyx. And now look at the gold difference, barely 300. As G2 have clawed back the deficit they found themselves in.
And you've got Dragon now in 20 seconds, so look at the rest of the map. G2 are already starting to move their way down towards that objective. Vision galore for them set up on this bottom side of the map. It should be an easy take for them, especially with the Kraken Slayer advantage there for Hansama. You have Caps, who should be able to reset now as well if he wants to, and try and make his way over towards this with his Mythic completed as well.
And it's the battle of the two carries in this game you have to feel. Chasy is 2,500 gold ahead with 2 items complete on this Jayce. If he is there to poke before the team fight begins, he can absolutely shred through this G2 lineup. But Hansama and Mikyx doing such a good job of getting leads in that bottom lane as well.
And I think Elyoya is kind of going, right, screw the Dragon. We're just going to try and go for top tier 2, get more gold onto Chasy and see if he can carry. But then Yike is here to match, and G2 are like, cool, we can just solo this out as long as we know jungler's on top side.
BrokenBlade has the flash Ghost up. Ragnarok is well available for him. The Dragon resets, but Hansama will walk back in, and Mikyx takes it. He's doing it all this game. Takes the Dragon as well. Mad Lions don't look for the dive. Mikyx coming across towards the side here. Grenade short, flash away, upgraded turret. Seismic shot coming out as well as the Ragnarok up towards the top side. Chasy's being locked up. The shutdown goes over to Elyoya. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Nisqy looking for something. Might not want to go any further because Hansama's in the area. And in the end, it is just a 1-for-1 trade. But with Rift Herald up, Mad Lions will turn their eyes towards it.
So kills coming out from either team as BrokenBlade and Yike are able to shut down Chasy. A bit of relief from the topside pressure that Mad keeps inflicting. Meanwhile, Mad are able to find that pick onto Mikyx, the man that's been a menace on the Rift so far. While Caps has tried to assist, it wasn't quite enough. You can see here Chasy trying to collapse, come help his team out, tries to sidestep the Q, the wall in his way, perhaps?
Just
maybe a little bit, but cease and desist is going to lock him up anyway there. I don't think he had a route away.
Yeah, felt like that regardless, he was definitely chain CC'd, and there was little he could do to get out of that one.
At this stage, it feels like a huge amount of this game for Mad Lions relies on Elyoya. 4-2 in the jungle. If he has the cat on his back, maybe he can make things work, but has to be looking for picks and Elyoya with Chasy trying to play around his strong part of the map.
I mean, I think that they've got a very similar dive comp to what they had yesterday, right? You've got this whole mid-jungle top trio that's very effective at basically creating chaos in a fight, isolating a target, and then one-shotting them before moving on to the next. The question is, which target will that be? It's difficult to lock down the Vi or the Olaf, but they're not going to be your primary targets. Hansama and Caps will be the people that Mad try to catch off guards and shut down before the fight really gets going.
I think it has to be Hansama as well. Has that cull nearly completed already with the Kraken Slayer. He is fast approaching his break point. I mean, you get the Navori Quick Blades coming in second, and then another attack speed item on top of that, and he'll be good to go. Elyoya?
Mikyx a menace.
It's terrifying.
Just always in the right position to land some of that poke, and it's not just the damage, it's the slow as well. Stops Mad Lions getting into the positions that they want. And setting up towards this top side of the map once again. Cap stepping forward, looking for Carzzy. Seismic shot, shove, dodged there. Chasy, though, with Elyoya, could catch out BrokenBlade. Now, BrokenBlade was trying to deal with Nisqy up towards this top side. BrokenBlade pops the ultimate, but you get reduced resistances when you do so. Flashes away, and you can see that's just a couple of seconds of Chasy wailing away on BrokenBlade, forces him back to the fountain.
Chasy is obviously very strong, and Mad are taking advantage of that, full advantage of that. The Herald is available for Elyoya. I don't know if he needs to use it here, though.
I think you go mid with it, right?
Yeah, I think it makes more sense. There's a lot of wave clear on the side of G2 when you have the Taliyah and the Sivir, so leverage that to help siege, because the reality is Mad, when they have, well, a short-range top side and then a Zeri who's very far behind, they're sieging tools are not that effective, so the Herald can definitely lighten that load if they're able to unlock that mid lane tower.
The hard part for this, though, for Mad Lions is that they just auto-lose the mid lane push, right? Hansama going to auto-clear waves against Carzzy. Cap's now in a position where he can one-shot waves with the Luden's Echo as well. It makes it difficult for Nisqy to keep control there. So trying to find these moments where Mad Lions have an advantage to use their tempo to play around Chasy is going to become harder and harder to find, especially as these dragons are stacking and racking for G2. Minute 45 until the next one. Feels like Mad need to make a quick play before they can really set up properly for this mid lane turret.
Well, they are going to set up for it. They have the wave. Nisqy and Yike will run into each other, but they're going to quickly split off. Elyoya has found Mikyx.
Mikyx locked up with the Cyclone here. Final chapter coming out as well. No flash on Mikyx, and he is locked up and taken out. Cease and desist now used. Elyoya still surviving, though. The power of Yuumi on his shoulders doing everything the Mad Lions needed. G2 scattered to the winds. Rifthold was used in the mid lane, takes the tower. Elyoya low on HP, but BrokenBlade's going to feel a bit of hurt here as Chasy continues to chase forward onto him. Chasy going in, Yike charging up the Vault Breaker just to keep Chasy at bay. Nisqy, is it a bomber moment? Not quite. The body slam goes short. Nisqy looking for the barrel toss. We'll get it out. Caps at half HP. Nisqy so sustainable in these fights. More damage, touches away. Nisqy thinking that Caps would go up towards the top side. Chasy on the flank here. Nisqy low, flashes away, but Chasy can tank those towers for days. Caps, how you getting out of this one? The flash, the knockback is not enough to kill off Chasy. It is enough to survive. In the end, though, Mad Lions send 4 and Caps falls.
And that's the play that we were talking about for Mad. They get the pick on Mikyx, they get the play onto Caps, and now they can actually set up control in this bot side for the Dragon. Caps will not be up and available. They'll have to use that Weaver's Wall to get in range. BrokenBlade's here.
BrokenBlade behind them. Ragnarok available. No ghost for him, though, and he's caught in the midst of 2 players. Carzzy jumps away. Elyoya and Nisqy will secure that one. And it's all falling apart a little bit here for G2 Mad Lions. 3,000 gold ahead now, Vedi.
BrokenBlade tried to make the flank happen, but didn't realize that many members of Mad were still lying in wait. Yike will now begin the Drake as Elyoya gets healed up by the Yuumi in the red buff. And Mad are in a position to contest.
Deep TP coming through from Nisqy, though. They want to fight this.
Final chapter being used. Yike goes in with a cease and desist. Carzzy on the flank, trying to catch out Mikyx. Yike already down, shut down by Chasy. Mikyx next up as Mad Lions take 2. Nisqy on the flank. There's a tower there, my dude. Probably don't want to go for that dive, but Mad get everything they wanted out of the play. 3rd Drake of the game, 2 kills, 3 kills in fact, as BrokenBlade was still dead, and a 4,000 gold lead.
And we're really starting to see Mad Lions come alive right now. The Weavers were all going to buy time to try and
block them from
delay Mad Lions, as you say, from the Baron. Just to buy a couple more seconds for Yike to respawn. 5 now until he is alive, but the Baron will begin. Let's see if G2 can stall long enough for Yike to arrive.
I don't think they're even going to contest it. They will back away. Mad Lions at 5,000 HP on this Baron. Would be their first of the series. Caps knocked away with the explosive cards. Caps looking for the steal, can't find it. And now Mad Lions well and truly in the driver's seat. They've been slumbering in the jungle up until now. As we know, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion has been sleeping, but they have awoken, they have arisen. And they're going to Hakuna Matata their way all the way through the rest of this game. It means no worries, Vedius, for Mad Lions.
You had to just get the whole song in, didn't you, Medic? Had to get the whole one. Mad, when backs were against the wall, have found a much-needed advantage over G2 Esports. 21 minutes in, and, you know, they still have an inhibitor up, so that's good news for them. The reality is that this is Mad's game to lose, and they keep finding picks. Perhaps they'll find another one. Yike.
And just Vault Breaker away, but the chase with the prowling projectile, and you're looking for that chase there. Final chapter coming out as well. Cease and desist turning it around, though, and G2 are ready to pounce on this. Elyoya dodging away. That's the fake, as G2 will take it down. Elyoya with that Yuumi on his shoulders, pretty unkillable right now. And you said it, Dagda. It's all about this Wukong with the cat.
I think it's a good call from Mad to group up as 5, though. This is one of those rare moments that we're kind of alluding to is, hey, we got pushing mid, we don't have to worry about top side, we can drop mid wave and immediately collapse onto a side, just overload one point, so G2 are a man down. You can see Hansama was actually trying to deal with the wave in mid, and now Mad trying to siege up again with this Baron as Nisqy is threatening the tier 2 in mid.
Weaver's Wall could close the gap here. Caps has about 20 seconds left before that cooldown. That ultimate is back available, but Mad Lions doing a very good job of 1-4 splitting. Elyoya just dodging through the jungle, making sure that he can beat wherever he's needed at a moment's notice. Chasy's going to chip out Mikyx. And that's what we saw against Trimby yesterday. Jayce in this position with 3 items is so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, 1,300 damage per minute yesterday on that Jayce, and trying to see if you can do it just again. G2 stuck underneath their towers, and this is where it starts to come back to bite you, that you don't have that super long range. Caps kind of needs to be the one to help out, because if Hansama is here, he can start to get nuked by things like Nisqy, by those accelerated shock blasts from Chasy as well.
Last time Hansama was in a final, he was 2-0 up.
Oh, no.
Rogue versus Mad Lions.
What happened, Betty?
Funnily enough, I think it was game 3 or game 5, I forget exactly which one. Hansama and Rogue found themselves with a 10k gold lead. 10k! And then Humanoid's Victor, Elyoya's Volley Bear, did some damage. Speaking of damage, Nisqy, Bomber.
Flashes away from the seismic shove, but the cease and desist will lock him up for the moment. How long can this Gragas survive? Mikyx caught off towards the bottom side as Elyoya once again looks to make the Heimerdinger his target. Nisqy still alive, the Seraph Shield doing everything they needed it to. Elyoya dives in, Mikyx falls, and now Chasy's in the midst of them all. Very low, Hansama flashing for it. Hansama's going to open up here. The ricochets can do so much work in this sort of situation, and Mad Lions just dived into their demise. 4 kills over to G2.
Carzzy was mid, and he's the only one left standing. G2 find their moment to shut Mad Lions down and get control back on the map.
Hansama is pretty determined not to get reverse swept again. 3-0-6 on the Sivir, and he still has all the damage he needs to be the carry for G2. Mad need to calm down. They keep finding themselves in winning positions and then they get over eager. Why was Nisqy trying to solo kill Caps? Completely isolated from his team. You can see that this play just seems to look at where his team is and look at where he is. Team, him. There's just no real assistance, and there's this big G2 that separates the two teams. Like, Nisqy has to invest so much just to disengage. Elyoya does find an initial good pick, but now all this damage, 2 ultimates were invested onto Mikyx alone. And I think that Mad could still win this fight, but now there's no threat onto Hansama. What does he have to be afraid of? Oh, right, the guy that's just been knocked back by Caps into all of the damage of the Taliyah. Over-aggressive fight for Mad that is aptly punished by G2.
Just a great spell shield from Hansama's there. Blocking the slow from the Gragas barrel means that he's actually able to follow up super effectively on this fight. Now though, Mad, we got Dragon up again. They're in position here, and you can see G2 don't even look like they're going to attempt this. Instead, they're going to be looking for the bounties that are on those turrets on the top side.
Mad Lions still in prime position to win this game. Still 3,500 gold ahead. Second Dragon as well. Those mountains stacking up. Not going to be too impactful. I mean, it is good to get extra armor and magic resist, but no one's really building it on the side of Mad, so it's not going to give you as much of a buff as something like an Ornn or a Scion or, you know, a Malphite in the top lane. The Mad Lions will get in control of this bottom side of the Rift.
You have to be nervous about Hansama and Caps though finishing the 3rd item. Infinity Edge on the way for Hansama. Caps gonna have his items coming through now, going for that Rabadon's Death Cap. So yes, you have that little bit of a gold lead, but it can be flipped around very, very quickly, as you've seen from G2. And a lot of that damage has been going on to Mikyx, which is nice. Obviously the Heimerdinger support can do a lot of work, but I'm starting to now get nervous about how heavy Caps and Hansama will start to hit.
Yeah, I think that I think it's more like the Bloodthirster is probably what he's going to work towards 3rd.
Yeah.
To have that extra
Apologies,
survivability. Yeah. But it's all good, it happens. You know, like, those are Infinity Edge items. It's the common happen stance. Keep my eyes on Caps and Yike right now as they look for, well, potentially a pick. You can see them sweeping out the vision. They want to see if Chasy will push out that wave, but Mad though. Grouping up, moving into their jungle together.
Yeah, make sure that you're in a 3, in a 4, looking for something. Chasy's going to be given the blue buff for the extra accelerated shock blasts. He'll join his team as well. No one's going to that top lane. Caps and Yike lying in wait, but they won't find any prey tonight. As Mad Lions group up towards mid. Baron up. Maybe they just wait for the Baron call from Mad Lions. It's a very strong flank position if they can find it. An Unraveled Earth, a seismic shove on Mad as they set up around the Baron. A possibility. Will Mad pull the trigger on the objective that has been the cause of so many teams' woes? Starting a Baron without proper control can cost you a lot. Hansama down to half Sterildas as well. Working there for Chasy, and
they will give up.
Nope, they're going to wait in the next bush, Vedi. There's more bushes to hide it. Okay, maybe they'll give up.
I said they're going to give up. Yep. No pick will be found. Good respect from Mad Lions. Elyoya and Nisqy trying to make their way into the enemy jungle, but Mikyx continues to be annoying. But Mad, this will not slow them down. They will continue to gain deeper vision and set up for this Baron. They don't have the fastest Baron take, and I doubt they're just going to flip it. And G2 now completing those items. There's the Bloodthirster for Hansama. His third major item completed. And now they're actually going to start this one
Under
off.
control now. Caps is off towards the side here. Seismic Shove gets them both back. A double stun, and the threaded volley doing a lot of work here. Elyoya's going to have to back away. And the question is, can Elyoya sustain enough? There's no jungle camps for him to get it off. Now, do G2 just start the Baron? Do they just say, oh, well, Elyoya has to back away.
Careful.
We can just go for the Baron. Elyoya down to half HP, only has a Gromp. Caps going to try and do a little bit more work here. Seismic Shove, threaded volley, he finds him, but Elyoya ticking, it will go down! Caps with the blind prediction, and now G2 will well and truly start up the big purple worm.
Such a massive pick from Caps. The man finds the enemy jungler. There was no flash on Elyoya. And now Mad, they're going to lose the Baron. And just like that, G2 have flipped the game on its head.
Mad might look for something in a 5v4. Engage from Yike, only mates onto Nisqy, season desist all the way onto the backline. The lightning crash coming out from Carzzy, the final chapter being used as well. But Hansama gets to open up, and Hansama will not be denied. Carzzy trying to survive, dashing back. Zeri and Yuumi can do so much, but Hansama has had enough. A triple for Sivir, and G2 with the Baron will barrel down mid.
How did G2 get away with this? This was Mad Lion's game. This was their moment to take us to a game 4. But Hansama refuses to be denied his title.
It all comes off the back of one of the most successful players in Europe in Caps. Elyoya is back on the map and he wants revenge.
Looking for Hansama, knows he has no summoners. The Cyclone will get the shutdown. Elyoya with 1,000 extra gold to go and buy something pretty. The question is, will it be impactful enough for Mad Lions to bounce back in this game? The gold even. G2 with Baron
TP?
for 2 minutes. TP coming behind here. Nisqy looks for Mikyx. Mikyx has the flash and will get away, but Elyoya not having any of that, chases him down. A solo for Elyoya in the end. Caps looking for something off towards the side here, but he's not going to be able to find too much as Mad do get 2 picks off the end of that battle.
I feel like I can feel Elyoya's frustration. He seems so angry right now. He chose to base in the middle of the river as his team backed off, and that was the beginning of what allowed Caps to find that pick. He is the reason why the Baron was
Chasy's
lost.
won this before. He has the flash. Caps looking for the seismic shot. Flash away by Chasy, and Chasy almost gets him. That final shot may have been enough. Caps survives though. 4, 2, and 9 now on the Taliyah. 3 items complete. Elyoya, the dragon up in 9 seconds. No top laner for them. The last time they took a fight around a Baron without a teammate, it did not work for them, but this dragon uncontested, it seems, by G2. 3rd mountain of the game, and everything comes back to an equal state. Gold even, 3 dragons to 2 in favor of Mad Lions. Still, 2 games to 0 in favor of G2. Just 1 fight away from their 10th LEC title.
And there's not really much that G2 can do to cross-map here. Yes, they'll push in topside, but you can see the rest of the team has already backed away to clear out their own jungle. So, nice job from Mad Lions to get themselves 3rd dragon, because honestly, Hansama the only one with real penetration here. Cap's still a ways off of his Void Staff.
I mean, it feels like G2, just like that, have neutralized the game. Medic, if you could flip up the gold graph for us, so that we can...
Oh, sorry, wrong
graph, you know, the
Take a ride at the roller
There we
coaster.
go, that's
Yeah,
what I wanted to showcase. Look at how hectic this game has been. A lot of the degrees have been like quite small in the early game, the first 20 minutes, but then the moment that Mad built that lead, it felt like that this was their game to lose, and now look at how quickly G2 have turned this game around.
It's nice to get an LPL matchup in, you know, the Fiora and the Jax, now we get an LPL gold graph. I'm really feeling like I'm going along here in this finals.
Oh my words.
We'll have an LPL result as well. G2 lose to a Chinese team. Perhaps not, as they are currently controlling the jungle. Nisqy going to try and defend this, but he's all on his lonesome. The rest of Mad Lions are in the mid lane, and Yike is looking for him. Cease and desist going to be used onto Nisqy. No stopwatch for him. Knocked back, and Nisqy just locked down underneath this tower. BrokenBlade tanking it, and Mad Lions not a moment to react. G2 now continue to find picks.
The chain CC was just clean there from G2. Nisqy literally didn't get to move. He doesn't have the Zhonya's. But Elyoya, he sees a target and he's going.
Final chapter being used. BrokenBlade still in the bush though. Do they know he hasn't backed the Ragnarok, turning this one around? Yike coming forward as well. Elyoya shut down by Mikyx. So many times the prey, this time the predator. Mikyx takes down down the enemy jungler.
And the timing was nearly so close to being perfect. One member of G2 was gone, and they thought they could turn on to Mikyx, but with BrokenBlade still just being left behind in the bush, they're able to turn it around, and now G2 can continue to push.
Exactly that, Dagda. 30 seconds on Elyoya means the Hansama and Caps can just make a beeline for mid lane. Level 18 on the Taliyah now. 3 items fully completed. Hansama with 4. They're looking to take these towers down.
So we got the opposite side of the LPL maybe coming through with 3-0. Might be the case here with G2 with the way that they're playing right now. So hard for Mad Lions to try and hold on. And Elyoya, as you said, Medic, earlier on, desperation. He knows he's got so much damage in his pocket if he can actually get on to carries, but just getting caught out every time he tries to make it happen with multiple members of G2 being there.
And this is the thing, the gold difference I think is quite deceptive because you can see that it looks relatively close for this late in the game, but when you look at the bottom of your screen, a 4k gold advantage for Hansama means that he is a full item and a half over his counterpart. In the mid lane, the experience difference between the 2 mid laners, along with the fact that Caps on his next back very likely to just secure another item as well, whereas Elyoya is making up a lot of the gold advantage for Mad. So the 2 main carries of Mad outside of Chasy find themselves in a very difficult position.
And you can see Chasy is trying, but it's very hard to try and get on towards Hansama. Not only just a case of having the opportunity to take pop shots because you're being threatened inside lane so consistently you're being drawn away, but also you have that spell shield there for Hansama. Now with the Baron up, vision in G2's favor, they're looking to reclaim this top side jungle as their own.
Mad Lions could sack the Baron, could look for the Mountain Soul in a minute and a half. Guardian Angel complete on Yike means that he has no fear, doesn't need to be cautious at all with his engages, not that he has been so far this game. And what a story it would be for him, claiming a title in his rookie split. Chasy trying to do the same. Chasy here, the carry for Mad. Carzzy is still scaling up 3 items Zeri, nothing to be trifled with. The poke possibly from Mad, they have a single minion. Seismic shaft, oh, good dodge there from Elyoya with the decoy. Baron started.
Here we go.
You push mid, Mad Lions, or do you go for the fight? Vision goes in with the fast side alteration. Weaver's wall has been used as well in the Baron, already down to 7,000 HP. Nisqy trying to get in. Elyoya can jump into the back, and he steals it! And Elyoya steals it and gets the hell out of there! Season Desist will lock him up. Mad Lions now need to take the party, take the fight. Elyoya dodging as much as he can, but Hylissang's already down. That's 2 to G2. Mad Lions, you need to retreat, you need to get out. A flash forward from Yike. Carzzy trying to put the damage down, rattling through with the burst fire. Mad Lions might try and turn it around, but they can't quite find it. A steal on the Baron for Elyoya. He is not willing to give this one up. Nisqy looking for more, but he will not find it as he just clears out the control ward.
Elyoya lost the first Baron, but he would be damned as hell to give up the second one. A massive steal keeps Mad still in the game with the soul point on the horizon as well. We're gonna have to get a slow-mo of this one. He's going in there blind. He W's over, oh, he gets the control ward at the last second, W's over the wall and secures the steal. Clutch stuff and a sigh of relief on Elyoya as he knows that he's bought more time for Mad to still turn this series around.
A hero play, and the fact that Mad Lions managed to get away as well so they don't end up just falling apart and losing their base. G2 will get a dragon, so now we're 3 dragons apiece. This next one will be massive for either side, but you can see how close these are. One step wrong from either side can cost them this entire game.
Tensions couldn't be closer. Both teams have made their fair share of great plays and mistakes, but it is G2 who is still 2-0 up in this series, and Mad, with their backs against the wall, are looking for every opportunity to win this game and keep the series going. Stopwatches have been bought across the board for the Mad Lions. They are ready for the next fight, but so is Hansama. The Zhonya's completed for the level 18 Caps. And with GAs also primed and ready to go, this next fight could very well be the one that determines the game.
Also the G2 special, multiple Radiant Virtues coming out. BrokenBlade picking that one up for himself on the top side as well, alongside Yike. A lot of healing provided as it does end up stacking, so you're gonna have to see if Mad Lions can try and burst through that, especially if you end up with the Mountain Dragon on top of that. Just makes it that little bit more annoying to deal with, but 3.5 minutes until that one comes up, and you can see both sides just posturing on the map, but not really going to be overcommitting for anything, knowing that that is really going to be the objective that they look for.
Yeah, Caps and Yike playing the buddy system there in the top lane as well. They knew that Mad Lions were pushing in bot lane, so like, well, we'll get the minions up towards the inhibitor, so Mad have to react. Mad off this Baron, you can see it's all just been about delaying the game. It's all just been about buying a little bit more time for another outplay, for another miraculous moment perhaps from Elyoya. This guy, after winning 2 titles with Mad Lions, has been denied across the course of the last couple of years. And here he is making a name for himself once again. Mac tweeted before the series started, he said, is this Elyoya's reckoning? Is it time for Elyoya to be known as the best European jungler? I think Jankos still the GOAT in terms of longevity, but Elyoya definitely up there in terms of the best right now. Mad though, players up towards the top side. G2 just walk in the middle of the base here, and Mad Lions spend a little bit too long up towards top. They'll lose their inhibitor in mid lane. G2, it's a heist, it's a theft as the final chapter comes out, but Ragnarok will stop any CC. Seismic shove goes wide. Mad Lions might want to look for a little bit more out of this. They know that BrokenBlade doesn't have that ultimate, but G2 able to walk out and get the inhibitor.
Both teams right now largely just waiting for the next objectives to spawn, but you're right, Medic. Honestly, bit of a blunder there from Mad. Weren't in a position to defend, and G2 gain a small advantage. This means that G2 will constantly have this wave pushing in their favor. And while they can go and catch the top lane, they're still a ways away before these next objectives. And many have played League in these situations. It's incredibly tense. You don't want to be the player that gets caught out. You don't want to be that individual that makes the mistake that determines the game. It's been hard fought from both sides. And Mad, if they can just get on top of Hans Sama, there's a real world where they can win these fights. But look at this, the GA now finished for Hans, level 18 as well. Carzzy, he doesn't even have a 4th item. He's been put so far behind this game. Whereas Hans Sama is full build. Pots are going to start coming out. He will be the problem that Mad have to overcome. Elyoya, though, has found the flank.
Looking for something, but Yike is also behind them here. Carzzy could be caught out. Caps can get in with Weaver's Wall. It could be desperation. It could be despair for Mad Lions. Final chapter being used. Weaver's Wall as well. The TP in from Nisqy is a short range, but he needed to be here with his team. A minute left on the Soul. A minute left on the Baron. It could delight or desperation for one of these two teams.
Good job from Mad Lions, though. They're trying to keep their vision that they have on this bottom side to make sure that G2 have to try and contest this Dragon Blind. The fact that they've managed to draw G2 out,
Elyoya.
Keep them away is great.
Elyoya. Seismic shove was a possibility there. He's able to dodge across the wall, but we saw him caught out there already once. We've seen finals defined by players being caught out there. You just think to Sven over in the LCS, caught out on the Ezreal, and it was what lost the series for his team. Elyoya was able to dodge away, though, and now the question comes, Vedi, Dagda, what do you fight for? Do you go for Soul? Do you go for Baron? Where do you draw your battle lines? Because they spawn at the same time.
I think the easiest thing is for Mad Lions to try and keep pressure on this bottom side so they can have one person solo out, probably Chasy this dragon, and just keep G2 backed away. G2, they have a lot of damage, but you can always come across very quickly, try and answer for, especially since Chasy has that TP, but G2 starting to set themselves up on bot side.
I would actually consider having Carzzy try and solo it, given that right now when you look at the damage profile, Chasy's one of the big poke factors that can hold G2 at bay. Pressure continues to mount, though. Mad continue to try and control the wave. And Yike trying to gain access into the fog of war, but Mad doing a great job of denying that vision. Good damage on the Mikyx.
Already down to half. BrokenBlade stepping forward.
Elyoya
looking for him. Gets onto Mikyx. The stopwatch to stop the explosive cast. Elyoya able to get out. The final chapter coming in as well. Mikyx is going to get the seismic shove up towards the bottom side. Carzzy in the GA. Mad. All hell the retreat. They've already lost one. They've lost two. And G2 open up a double for Hans Sama. Looking for 3. Looking for 4. Looking to take all 5. Mikyx takes 1. G2 take the fight. And it's despair for the Lions. And delight for G2.
G2 will find the fight that they needed. Caps will go back to pick up the wave, and it is everything that they could have hoped for.
Absolute domination from G2. The fight was too split from Mad, and G2 are looking to take it.
9 titles before today. History and Historia for G2 as they claim their 10th title.
massive congratulations to G2. It was a hard-fought Game 3, and the Mad Lions showcased what they could do, but it was not enough against the Titans of G2.
G2 once again take their position on center stage and look towards the LEC Winter Shield. They are your LEC 2023 Winter Champions, G2! Mikyx with his 5th title now. Matches up with Yellow Star and Soaz. And Summer, for the first time ever, after 6 years of trying. BrokenBlade with his 2nd. And next up, the man in the mid lane, Caps, matching perks, 8 titles. Today we truly saw Claps rise to the front. And of course, Dylan Falco raising the shield once again, instrumental to the way G2 have played. And what a performance it was from G2 all round.
An incredible series, 3-0. G2 have a number of them throughout their long history. And G2 find themselves back on top. They lost 0-3 in the finals last split. You could see the frustration on Caps' face as G2 once again celebrate being at the top of the LEC. The goal of this team was to dominate Europe, and they've done just that.
And by winning, unlocked themselves a spot in MSI as well. 2nd seed at least, but the way they're playing, I think 1st seed will be very much on their mind. If they win spring, they claim that. Yike, of course, didn't see him lift the trophy. I was slightly distracted, but he's in his rookie split to do so well, to be so dominant, to take down Elyoya.
And that's exactly it. Elyoya comes in rookie to split in 2021, manages to win with Mad Lions in his 1st split. Yike now looking to do the exact same, having lifted the trophy himself after seeing him pick up rookie to split. But what a fantastic performance from him, stepping up alongside Caps. And I think that's the beauty of a team like G2. You can see how well all the pieces work together, the friends that are on this team, and now going towards an international stage with the flexibility that they have, the fact that they've been able to showcase just how individually strong they are. It feels like they're ready to take on the world.
Reminder, this is of course Winter Split. We'll be back for spring.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And G2 will be the team to beat. Everyone in Europe will have their eyes on them, the dominant performance that they have had, and everyone will be looking to level up to rival this team in such a short time. G2 have risen to the top, but now there are many hungry teams looking to take that title away from them. Winter Split champions, they will secure a spot at the season finals at the end of the year. They will lock a spot in MSI, and right now they are the champions of the LEC.
And in 2 weeks, we start it all again, another 6 weeks of madness. The spring split starts on the 11th of March. And it's gonna be
no rest for the wicked.
No rest for any of us. And I think you look at some of the teams that have risen up across the course of this split, and I'm very excited to see what happens. SK, Astrala, SpeedyS all having great performances. Mad Lions making it to the finals. I don't think many people expected that, but someone perhaps who did expect the result of today is standing by. Laure, take it away.
Thank you, Medic. Mikyx, Hans, congrats on taking down Mad Lions in the final. Berlin, once again, please, for the winners. That was a rather fast and one-sided series, but I don't think we can say this about the last game, especially Mikyx. How did you come back from this one?
Well, it was a bit rough. They pulled out the Yuumi. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought the champion was dead, but I guess it's not yet. And it was a bit hard of a game.
Yeah.
Luckily, we got a huge lead bot, so we could equalize the lead that they got top. And then, yeah, we just felt like we had a better late game, a better comp, so we just kind of won, yeah.
It was an amazing game, and Hans, I have to talk about this series as a whole. I was waiting for you to play Samira, but I have to say, with this draft especially, I didn't think it was an ideal scenario to play Samira. But tell me about the champion, how much you like it, and why did you think it was the right time to pick it?
I think it was the right time to pick it, especially of the
there was a pocket pick of Mikyx. I like the Javan, and everyone in my team had like knockups. And in me, they didn't really have much CC to cancel my ulti or whenever I dash in. So it felt really like the perfect Samira game for me. And I was grinding her a lot during the off season. I was maybe I have more than 200 games with her. I'm smurfing every game, and I'm really glad to be able to pull this champion off. For me, she's like honestly the female driven. She does so much damage. She's really strong. And she's in this patch that we just played. She's really broken.
The champion fits you so well. An amazing performance from you on this Samira. Mikyx, another title for you. It's been quite a while since the last one. How does this one feel, especially when you consider the new format and everything? Thank you, Mr. Romain, for the shield. But yeah, tell me how this one feels and how different it rings compared to the other ones you had.
Yeah, I mean, it feels really nice, especially since I haven't gotten one in quite a long time. It's also the first time I've won in like the studio, I guess.
Yeah.
So, no, it was nice overall. I was really confident going into it as well, because I think our team is just way too insane. So, yeah, feels good.
Feels good to see you again on the winning side. And Hans, coming in today, I couldn't believe that you never actually won a title. And this is actually your first, right? Thank you. I think it's deserved to have so many cheers from the fan, especially how long you've been waiting for this one. Tell me about first impressions about being the champ, finally.
It feels amazing. I was really close to it a few years ago against my Lions.
Right.
But I ended up being reverse swept. But yeah, it feels really amazing. That I can't believe for so many years I haven't got the title. I was just doing finals. I'm really glad that I won today. We won. And yeah, my team is really amazing, and it's been a really great journey so far. Yeah.
The sweet, sweet taste of revenge here. Mikyx, being reunited with this kid. Back to the Misfits days, actually. I know I talked to you at the beginning of the split. You were telling me, Hansama is driving me in the lane, and it's actually good to be reunited with him. But how different is the duo now that you had a couple of weeks on stage to play together?
Well, I felt like we were really good back in Misfits already, but I think now we're even better, even though that could be impossible, but we made it. No, but I think we're just really good. I think we both bring a lot more to the team compared to our Misfits days. We both talk a lot more. Yeah, I think it's also just really nice to play lane. It always feels really free. We always have a lot of plans going into it, and we're just both really motivated to get better. So I really like it, yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to this, Steven? To the synergy and being reunited with Mikyx on the Rift?
It's really amazing to be working with Mikyx every day. We together, we are really like whenever we go to everyday scrim, it feels like so nice because we understand each other very well. We always review every single game. We get to talk to each other, like what we want to do, like what do we want to achieve and stuff. It feels very nice to be with Mikyx because I can be myself, he can be himself. And yeah, we have experienced before, and definitely is better this year because we talk more and bring more to the table, which is a very nice feeling. And every day just a blessing to be able to play with Mikyx.
You were mentioning achievements, and I know that at the beginning of the year we had an interview together, and you told me that you have things to prove here coming back to Europe after a disappointing year in the LCS. Did you reach the level you were expecting to reach, and did you prove what you wanted to prove here in the LEC?
Oh, well, we've got some great games. I feel like this is not our final state yet. Final form, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna be much stronger. I think slowly and slowly. We're just gonna keep up the grind and yeah, not be lazy.
I can just expect that you're going to be much stronger because you have MSI on the line now. But this is something we'll follow up on later. Mikyx, Hans, thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
Congrats again on being the Winter Split champion, and Sharks, back to you for PGL.